Thank you, everybody, and I welcome and thank you for the opportunity to present the City of Joondalup's case. So I'm the Manager of Parks and Natural Environment for the City of Joondalup in Perth, Western Australia. We're a local government authority located 30 kilometres to the north of Perth capital city. In regards to water conservation and sustainability initiatives, the City has a groundwater licence to extract over 4 million kilolitres of water per year to serve its irrigation needs. A significant decrease in Perth's annual rainfall since the early 80s has resulted in the use of unsustainable use of the superficial aquifers used to irrigate all the parks within the metropolitan area. It's been mandated by the state government that there will be a 10% reduction in the city's water licence coming into 2028. The city has implemented landscaping and irrigation projects with its parks to reduce irrigated areas by implementing hydrozoning and eco-zoning. And on the screen there you'll see one of our local parks which used to be fully irrigated, which is now the irrigation has been turned off in those areas and turned back into nature type areas to create a habitat for the local flora and fauna. We've also included a smart controlled irrigation system which uses scientifically based evidence to control groundwater use in parks and sporting grounds across the city. The controllers automate the groundwater required daily based on evapotranspiration rates obtained from the city's 3 weather stations, and switch off the system when it rains, which has reduced the amount of groundwater the city uses for irrigation purposes. The system's heart is a central controller which can be operated through a tablet or phone. The city has already decreased groundwater usage by 86,000 kilolitres per annum as compared to what we had in 2019-20, which is the equivalent of 35 Olympic swimming pools per year. The city jointly manages the Yallagongga Regional Park, which is what you can see at the top of the slide. We manage that with our local, the City of Wanneroo, which is our neighbouring local government, and the Department of Biodiversity and Attractions. Yallagongga is an area of high ecological significance with 13 kilometres of conservation category wetlands and bush forever sites. The 2 lakes in the park are unconfined, and where I'll be in my that is that they represent the natural expression of the groundwater table, and as such, without sustainable use of the groundwater, those lakes will dry up and we'll lose the biodiversity in there. The city jointly implements the Yallagongga Integrated Catchment Management Plan through our biodiversity projects, management initiatives, environmental education initiatives, and collaboration with friends groups to help conserve the park. The city also collaborates and works closely with key stakeholders and partners on water-wise initiatives. And these water-wise initiatives include a water-wise verge rebate program for residents who can actually get provided money to actually increase the biodiversity on their verges. Native plant giveaways with almost 8,000 native plants given away to 750 residents late year. We do also water-wise demonstration gardens, including at the city's administration building and in road islands in the suburbs to encourage community members to create similar gardens. We have water-wise gardening community workshops to conduct water-wise practices. We collaborate with other local governments on the annual WA Tree Festival with 50 local governments involved. And we also implement an environmental community funding program to provide funding for schools and community groups which can enable water-wise plantings out. For our usability, sustainability and greening initiatives, the city implements a Leafy City program to increase canopy cover and reduce evaporation through planting trees on suburban streetscapes. The program mitigates the urban heat island effect and creates cooler and inviting green spaces for residents. Locations of trees are for tree planting identified through thermal heat mapping and tree canopy surveys. The program was launched in May 2017 and to date we've planted 6,300 trees. As a result, the city's canopy cover in these worst areas has increased from 9% in 2014 to 12% in 2020. The city also implements a winter tree planting program which involves trees being planted in parks, medians and streets. This program includes free trees being planted on verges at residents' requests. Trees are selected from the preferred street tree species list and tree plantings undertaken during the winter. The program has rolled in a further 10,000 trees being planted in the past 4 years, in addition to our Leafy City program. The city's also collaborated with the BirdLife WA on a project to build bird habitat and connect communities to nature. The project resulted in planting over 5,000 bird-friendly native seedlings in 2 of our city parks, assisted by the community. Workshops and events were also held to promote create bird-friendly gardens. The city also supports and conducts revegetation works in natural areas. City staff use provenance seeds and cuttings from native plant propagation. That we also grow 10,000 of these seedlings per year. And we provide them to our 19 friends groups that help conserve our natural areas. Species are planted in areas where seeds and cuttings were taken to retain genetic purity, and growing our own native seeds saves the city 30 to 40% in purchasing plant costs. The city monitors and reports our water-wise initiatives, and particularly practices regularly keeps our community and stakeholders informed through annual reports, state of the environment reports, annual Waterwise Council reports, and satisfaction surveys. Further above procedures and guidelines are in place to ensure the city's implementation of the city's change strategy is sustainable and resilient, including an environmental plan, Waterwise action plan, pathogen management plan, which sets out requirements for staff and contractors, and spread of pathogens. We also have a purchasing guideline for the supply of landscape materials to ensure that it applies with Australian standards. We have a weed management plan, which provides an integrated approach to the management of weeds, and a tree management guideline providing advice and guidance for planting trees within the city. We have procedures to ensure the optimal survival of new trees, including the use of soil conditioners at the time of planting, to guard against poor results, resulting in sustainable healthy plant growing and saving up to 50% in irrigated water. We also have an environmental education program which supports residents to adopt sustainable behaviours such as Waterwise bird rebate program and other Waterwise and biodiversity related events and initiatives. So where to from here for the city? The city has recently developed a new climate change plan which is aimed to be finalised later this year, which builds on the key achievements and learnings from the previous strategy. The state government, as I mentioned earlier, has mandated a 10% reduction in the city's groundwater licence to come into effect in 2028. To ensure accurate water usage, the city is in the process of installing digital water meters on all of the city's 270 bores, which will automatically feed accurate water usage data back to the central irrigation computer on a daily basis. We will continue elected member and community buy-in is essential. We will continue to provide education initiatives to schools to enrich the future generations in water-wise and environmental sustainability behaviour. As a leading local government in Western Australia, it's important to continue to advocate the city's position on important environmental issues via leading federal and state government agencies and professional bodies such as Parks and Leisure Australia and World Urban Parks. And in closing, as the saying goes, and one of our philosophies, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Thank you.
Thank you.